Bring the Boom here. Some of you may know this game. Maybe even some of you might be thinking, did I really spend $24 on that stupid arcade game? And the answer is yes, you did. And I'm sure many of you will be remembering the nostalgic feeling of blowing zombie scum into oblivion with your buddy for only 25 cents a credit. Delve deep into the scary, sensational, and horrific game that is House of the Dead.
The House of the Dead.
House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return are port versions from the previous arcade game from around the world. House of the Dead 2 was made in 1998 and House of the Dead 3 was made in 2002. WoW Entertainment and Sega created these two gems and were released in 2008 as a package to the Wii console. The only difference in the game is that it supports the Wii Zapper peripheral. This game falls under the category of a light gun shooter. You point and press B to shoot the enemies as they pop out at you, and the game moves you along a predetermined route, thus having no control over where you walk or where you're headed. It includes an auto-reload feature that allows you to point your Wii remote off-screen and to reload weapons without pulling the trigger. You will see these types of games in arcades and such, sucking kids in with their quarters. This game gives you a default choice of 3 lives, allowing you to take 3 hits from zombies, evil vultures, and the usual 20 feet high zombie security guard. Once you run out of these 3 lives, you use up 1 credit. This game allows up to 9 credits, but you have to earn them by completing the game in the various missions. The story is garbage and uninteresting. Let's face it, this isn't Resident Evil, and the story isn't the highlight of the game. But for all of you who want to know what the story is like, I'll tell you for the sake of this review. House of the Dead 2 is placed 2 years after the Curian Mansion incident in the House of the Dead 1. The Secret International Agency, AMS, has launched an investigation in order to prevent the world from screwing themselves up again. James Taylor and Gary Stewart are put on the spot to investigate and rescue G, another partner of theirs, in Venice, Italy. They meet up with Amy Crystal and Harry Harris, who do jack shit for you. They soon find out that Caleb Goldman, an expert on genome theories, developed the undead zombie horde. Set in the year of 2019, House of the Dead 3 shows us a civilization that has long since collapsed. Ex-AMS agent Thomas Rogan and his team of highly trained commandos investigate the EFI research facility, which may be linked to the world collapse. Thomas's 19-year-old daughter Lisa and Rogan's former partner G traveled there 2 weeks later with shotguns in hand after contact with him is mysteriously lost. They have to go save him and kill the undead, which was created by Dr. Curian, who was first tried to save his son from his terminal illness. I don't want to give away too much, but there are a lot of twists and turns, so I advise you that you should pay attention. House of the Dead has a lot of modes. Time attack mode is in both games. Shooting zombies with well-placed headshots add less time on the clock. Original mode, only featured in House of the Dead 2, is basically the same story and difficulty, but you get the added options to equip power-ups at the beginning of the levels like more credits, ammos, and better ammo rounds. There's a boss battle mode which allows you to fight all bosses without even completing one single mission. Nothing has been changed to these games in graphics and sound quality. 2 looks very dated, but Part 3 has some great enemy designs and the locations look much nicer than Part 2. Both look just like the arcade games though. Same goes for the Horde voice acting, which is one of the cheesy highlights to the series. Voice acting is so horrid it's to the point of laugh.
James, go and prevent the confusion in the city. Okay, let's meet at Sunset Bridge.
I won't say I enjoyed it, but it's worth watching all the cutscenes at least once. Music is still creepy, and it really reminds me of Resident Evil. The third game has a much stronger score that seems to fit the mood much better than the second game. That's not saying much. I'm a big fan of the Wii Zapper, but it's a bit too clunky, and for this game you don't use the analog stick on the nunchuck, so it feels a little bit too heavy. It does get the job done, and my aim was much better than when I tried with the Wii Remote, which really doesn't have a good shape for shooting zombies. Either setup works though. What I've always liked about this game is that the branching paths. The second game has much more elaborate branching paths, so I enjoy playing that one and trying to find the different ways through the level, which is harder than one would think. The second game requires you to save or kill civilians depending on what choice you make. You will take a different course. The third game comes outright and asks you what path to choose. The second game excels in this aspect as more challenging to choose paths. This game has multiple unlockables such as new modes, infinite credits, civilian costumes, and other fun little bonuses. This game allows you to play with another player, so 2 zombie head-blasting fanatics are better than 1. Single and 2-player modes play the same though. One won't be harder than the other. Bosses still have their weak spots, and besides the last boss in Part 3, I never had any real problems with the bosses. The Sloth in 3 moves so much, but otherwise most went down without a fight as their weak spots were obvious. This game is really great, and thankfully it was released at a bargain price. Once it's a little cheaper, I may buy it for myself, but it made a great and quick rental, much like most Wii games. Fans of the series should enjoy this, and the bonuses add a lot to this game as well. Hopefully more companies release these shooters packs as they are a nice diversion. Now on to the scores. Story gets a 7. Extensive storyline, but if you haven't played previous games, you'll be kept in the dark. Graphics get a 5. House of the Dead 2 just completely sucks, but House of the Dead 3 is a nice upgrade. Sound gets an 8. Can't go wrong on a scary shooter. Controls get a 9. There is nothing to screw up really, but the nunchuck shouldn't be essential. Gameplay gets an 8. Nice modes and unlockables, not to mention it's 2 games in 1. Replay value is an 8. As said before, lots of modes and it's 2 games in 1. My final score is a 7.5. It's not one of the most flashiest games out there, and it's definitely not one of the most groundbreaking, but it's worth the rent even at the discounted price. Lots of replayability, and you also get to use your Wii Zapper. This is Bring the Boom, and I hope you like this review. I'll be making more, and thanks for watching.